Yes, this is way too early, but you know what? F it, we're going into it. In today's edition, we are going to be predicting all 7 of the AFC playoff teams, all coming up on today's edition of the Don Mafia Report. Yo ho ho, Don Mafia. Welcome to yet another edition of the Don Mafia Report. I'm pretty sure this is like day 35, 36 of like my continuous videos that I've been putting out. And might I say, this has been a journey, okay? This morning I got home, and yesterday as well. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to take the day off. But you know what? I'm a man of my word, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to continue to be pumping out this mediocre content for you. You're welcome. You read the title correctly. We are going to be predicting all 7 of the teams that I foresee going into the playoffs in 2021. And it's going to be exciting. There's probably going to be a lot of you in the comment section upset that I didn't pick your team to make the playoffs. But at the end of the day, maybe I'm not even right. Who knows? It's just how it's all going to play out. Before we get into the specifics, I do want to just give one announcement. I am giving away either a PS5 or an Xbox Series X on July 2nd. In order to enter the competition, the contest, all you need to do is be a subscriber to this YouTube channel, screenshot proof of that, and then send that screenshot over to me on Instagram at RealDanMitchell, and follow me on Instagram as well, because that's where I am exclusively going to be announcing the winner once July 2nd comes around. So whatever you're doing, pause this video, sign up for the contest, and have a chance of bringing home a next-gen console. Without further ado, let's dive into the goods. Don Mafia. Now, like I said, this is probably going to be very early when it comes down into who is going to make the playoffs from the AFC in 2021. We have no idea what's going on in the training camp that is about to be here. We have no idea if, certain teams are going to experience injuries. This is clearly way too early, but I just wanted to be able to give you my opinion on where I see the playoff picture being if it were to start tomorrow. And we might as well just have a little fun with it, okay? Number 7, starting off, the 7th seed in the AFC who is making the playoffs is going to be the Miami Dolphins. Yes, Miami Dolphins fans. A lot of you are TD Fins Talk fans or Dougley Durong fans, and I would say that I'm probably your favorite YouTuber to hate, right? Because you know that I love talking shit on the Dolphins. It's really a part of my persona at this point. But one thing I will say, I think your team is damn good. I really think your team is good. I think your defense is absolutely scary. I think that you have a huge favor handed your way, that your schedule, along with the rest of the AFC East, is going to be a cakewalk compared to last year. And I foresee you guys sneaking into the playoffs. Thankfully for the Dolphins, you are not playing the Buffalo Bills the last week of the 2021 season. So if you need to beat a team to get into the playoffs, you don't need to worry about the Buffalo Bills. I see y'all making the wild card spot number 7. And there you go, Dolphins fans. There you go. I sincerely believe your defense is going to carry you this year. I think Tua is going to take a step forward, but at the end of the day, I think your defense, much like last year, is going to carry you into the playoffs coming in this year. I do not see regression at all. I only see improvement from this organization. The 6th seed in the AFC playoff picture is going to be none other than the Baltimore Ravens. Now, listen, this team is relatively consistent. I will say for the past couple of years, I'm a huge Lamar Jackson fan. I think that he's really going to step into his own going into this next season in 2021. Your defense is still absolutely scary. I see Lamar finally being able to take that next step as a passer. I think with Sammy Watkins, well, a lot of people may argue that he's washed up, he's past his prime. I think that he is going to be that much needed wide receiver weapon that Lamar Jackson needed. On top of Hollywood Brown, hopefully that he can go into his 3rd year and be an absolute stud. I see the Baltimore Ravens locking in that 6th seed and going into the playoffs once again. and maybe even winning a playoff game going into it once they end up facing the 3rd seed. And so I know that they ended up seeing a lot of big names go away and go to different teams, but I think that Harbaugh really has a good structured team going down in the city of Baltimore, and I see them snagging a wild card spot and going into the playoffs. The 5th seed in the AFC playoff picture is going to be none other than the Tennessee Titans. Listen, I know a lot of Titans fans are going to be like, Dad, how dare you not say the Titans are about to win the division? Okay? We just got Julio Jones. It's about to be game over. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I agree with you. I think the Tennessee Titans are going to be a fantastic team going on this year. I think that Julio Jones is going to really step up your offense. Now, during the offseason, right when free agency was circulating around, once you ended up letting Jonnu Smith walk and once you ended up letting Corey Davis walk, I was kind of like, okay, what are the Titans trying to do? But then eventually you bring in an absolute stud of a receiver in Julio Jones. Now, can this dude stay healthy? We shall see. But I do foresee the Titans once again being able to get into the playoffs as a wild card spot. Why I do not see them winning the division is this. Do they have the talent? 1,000%. But there's 2 things that I think that they are not going to win the division because of. Number 1, their defense, their secondary in particular. Their secondary is absolutely terrible. If you're a Titans fan, you can not look me in the eye and say that you disagree with me. I think that that's your biggest weakness at this point. But I think your offense is going to be able to carry. And number 2, I don't see you winning the division because continuity is gone. Your offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith, he ended up taking the head coaching job over in Atlanta, and now you have a brand new offensive play caller. While I think that you're still going to be able to thrive because you have a gentleman by the name of Derrick Henry on your team, I think that it is going to take a bit of a step back due to the fact that your entire offense is going to have to get used to an entire different style from what they have been used to the past couple of years. Hence why I have the Tennessee Titans taking the 5th seed in the playoffs. 4th seed, now we are getting into the division winners, and the 4th seed is going to be none other than the Indianapolis Colts. Yes, I do foresee the Colts taking a huge stride and being that team that is going to dominate their respective division. If you look at the Colts, they are a complete team, in my opinion. Offensively, defensively, their defense is absolutely scary. I think now that Carson Wentz is on a team that actually has a formidable offensive line, the weapons that he is provided to, especially with that young running back that absolutely blew up last year in Jonathan Taylor, I have a feeling that he's probably going to be one of the best running backs in the league next year as far as overall rushing yards, etc. The receiving core, this is a complete team. Reich really knows what he's doing, and I see the Colts really running away with this division. Somewhat close to the Titans, I would say, but I do see the Colts winning it out and then locking in the 4th seed. Number 3, I see the Cleveland Browns being the 3rd seed in the AFC playoff picture. Now, listen, when you look at the Cleveland Browns, what I respect about them is the fact that when they realize that there's a weakness on this team, they address that, they focus on that. And they did a lot of that to their defense this past offseason. I would say if any weakness with the Cleveland Browns was last year was a lot to do with their secondary and injuries, which is something that they really can't control, but this is something that they need to look into. And they did. They looked into it. They addressed that heavily, not only in the draft, but they also addressed it in free agency. When you look at the Cleveland Browns, they have the best running game in the entire NFL. You cannot look me in the eye and suggest otherwise. They have the best running back duo that I have seen in years plus, with Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, and as long as Baker Mayfield cannot make mistakes, be the game manager that he is, this team is easily going to win 13 games this year. Hence why I see them getting the 3rd seed in the AFC playoff picture. Number 2, I have the Kansas City Chiefs getting into the 2 seed. I know, listen, Chiefs fans are about to be jumping down my throat right now for not saying that they are about to lock in the 1st seed in the entire AFC. Now, there's a few things as into why I think that they are not going to make the 1st seed. Number 1, their schedule is significantly harder than it was last year. Now, granted, they are probably one of the NFL elite teams. They have an incredible offense. They had a terrible offensive line toward the end of the season due to injuries, due to opt-outs, due to COVID, and they addressed that. They really, really did. And so, but when you have a team with Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, of course, Patrick Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, their offense is absolutely disgustingly scary, and they are going to continue to absolutely destroy the league. I think that a lot of us are not surprised that I have picked the Kansas City Chiefs to make the playoffs. Maybe you're surprised that I said that they were going to be the second seed, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that their schedule is going to be significantly harder this year than it was last year, and I think they're going to drop a couple of games because there's been enough seasons rolling around where defensive coordinators are going to start and get answers for not only Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and all of their usual plays. So hence why I have them being the second seed. First seed in the AFC playoff picture. I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh, dude, Buffalo Bills YouTuber saying the Bills are going to be the first seed in the playoffs. Who would have ever thought? Well, let me tell you what, you can put your sarcastic tone down the drain there, buddy. Because I sincerely believe that the Buffalo Bills are about to be the first seed in the playoffs. We are going to be the best team in the NFL next year. I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh, dude, no way, dude. Bills are trash. Bills are trash. They're absolutely not. The one thing that the Buffalo Bills have that a lot of these teams that I just mentioned do not is continuity on both sides of the damn ball. Now, there's no question that we struggled in pass rush last year. That was addressed during this offseason. And we're bringing back essentially our entire offense from last year, our big-ass playmakers going into it. And even when we did lose specific players, we ended up addressing the situation. So many outsiders looking in don't give the Bills enough credit that we had the third hardest schedule in the entire NFL last year, and we finished 13-3. Right now, we have the 23rd hardest schedule, meaning that it's going to be an absolute cakewalk, and we're getting our entire team back. We have Josh Allen coming off of an arguable MVP candidate type season, and if you think that dude man's going to take a step back, you're out of your mind. This team is about to be the number one seed going into the playoffs. We're going to have the bye week, and boom, there it is. Don Mafia, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of the Don Mafia Report. Do me a favor, leave a comment. Do you agree with my playoff teams, my seedings, etc.? If I didn't put your team in the playoffs, feel free to cuss me out in the comments and tell me why I'm an idiot. I absolutely love being able to interact with the Don Mafia over that kind of thing, so fire away. Don Mafia, I will see you tomorrow, and before I let you go, always remember, let's go Buffalo.